Let me ask you something. Have you ever built something successful and then slowly realized that the very thing you built might actually be costing you your life? All right, so for those of you who may be new to my channel, my name is Guillermo Salas. I work with sales professionals, entrepreneurs, executives, and business owners who want to grow their businesses without sacrificing, important, their health, their relationships, or their personal lives. And this issue we're talking about today, success turned into pressure, burnout, and it's something I see quite often with high performers. So from the outside, everything looks great, right? People see the production numbers, they see the deals getting done, they see the growth, and from their perspective, it probably looks like you've got everything figured out. But behind the scenes, the experience can feel extremely and very different. What most people don't see is the constant pressure that often comes with that success. They don't see the nights where you're still answering emails at 10 or 11 p.m. They don't see the weekends where you're technically off, but your mind is still running, through client issues, team problems, deals that might fall apart, or opportunities you don't want to miss. And they don't see how hard it can be to ever fully switch off. Even when you're sitting at dinner with your family, part of your brain is still in the business. Even when you're on vacation, you're still checking your phone. You might not even realize how much mental space the business is occupying until someone points it out to you. I remember a conversation I had with a business owner a few years ago that really stuck with me. And from the outside, he was incredibly successful. His business was growing, revenue was strong, he had built a team. But during one of our conversations, he said something that I hear surprisingly very often. He said, "I feel like I'm always on." And when he said it, it wasn't a complaint necessarily. It was just more like an observation. He said when he was home with his family, his mind was thinking about work all the time, client issues, employees, strategy decisions. Then he said something that really captured the situation. He said, "I started this business because I wanted freedom. But right now, it feels like I've built myself a prison." And if you're an entrepreneur, CEO, or a high-producing sales professional, there's a good chance that resonates with you on some level. And if that's the case, please consider subscribing to this channel. That's exactly what we talk about on this channel. All right, let's look at why this situation happens so often. It's because they usually assume it's just part of the success, right? They think, well, this is just what it takes. This is the price you pay. But after working with a lot of high performers over the years, I've noticed something interesting. Burnout rarely comes from working hard. Most high performers actually enjoy working hard. Burnout usually comes from something else. And it happens when the structure of the business and the structure of your thinking start working against each other instead of supporting each other. I worked with a sales leader once who had built a very productive organization. From a production standpoint, things were going very well, extremely well. But he was exhausted. Every decision in the business still flowed through him. If there was a problem, people came to him. If there was an opportunity, again, people came to him. And if there was uncertainty, you got it, people came to him. And when he started talking about delegating more responsibility to his team, he immediately said something interesting. He said, "I've tried that before, but nobody does it the way I do," right? Words to remember. Now, intellectually, he understood that that wasn't sustainable. He knew that the business wasn't going to grow. He couldn't be the center of everything forever. But underneath that logical understanding was a deeper belief that if you let go too much control, things might fall apart. And that belief kept recreating the exact situation he said he wanted to escape. This is where a lot of high performers get stuck. They want more freedom. They want the business to grow. They want a little more balance in their lives. But the way the business is structured and the way they're thinking about the role in it keeps pulling them back into the same pattern. So the business grows, but the pressure grows with it. There's more revenue, there's more responsibility, more decisions, more complexity. And eventually it reaches a point where you start asking yourself a question that most people don't expect to ask after achieving success. Is this really the life I wanted to build? Right? Crazy. So the work I do with clients sits right at the intersection of these two things. We look at what's happening inside the business. We also look at what's happening internally. Because solving burnout isn't about working less. It's about redesigning the way the business operates and sometimes redesigning the way you think about your role inside it. Now, when those two things start to align, something really interesting happens, right? The business can continue to grow, but it stops consuming your entire life. Super, super important, right? At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to build a successful business. The goal is to build a business that actually supports the life you want to live. And if you've built something successful, but you're starting to feel like it's demanding way more from me than I should, that's something we can work on. So if you found this helpful and you're someone who's trying to grow your business while keeping the rest of your life intact and enjoyable, I offer a free strategy session where we can talk through what's going on in your situation. Sometimes a short conversation can bring a lot of clarity. Now, if that sounds useful, you can schedule a time using the calendar link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you on the next video.